Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series. We are moving into the midpoint of January 1988. Specifically, I believe it's the 16th of January in this particular episode. January 16th, 1988. And we're, the in a lot of ways, the final push here in the area. And the fantastic, I wouldn't say heavily featured, but featured here. And we kind of go Matt Bourne versus Hood. Hood is a masked wrestler. How ingenious. That is the opening contest of things. And, I mean, they are trying to get, as much as they can. I believe Bourne's still holding the Texas Championship. Bourne has been here for a while. It does make you wonder how many bridges he burned, that he's, with a dying world class versus the NWA or WWF. By this point, it had been, going on 3 years since he left the WWF, so you'd think he could get back in there. The Hood with a big body slam, wearing red pants and a red and black mask. Hood manages to get some advantage for a little bit, but a hard chop and a few offensive maneuvers later, Bourne is in control. I always wonder if Bourne wasn't intended to be a bigger part of the area, but he manages to kind of blow that wide open for himself with his drug use, or what that looks like. Anyway, then we kind of see the Hood on the second rope on the inside, and hits a double axe handle to the shoulder area of Bourne, and that will get you an advantage when you need it. That double axe handle type maneuver is pretty lethal when you want it to be. Bourne with some chops, Bourne with some heavy shots, and hits a shot to the midsection. Suplex by Bourne. Bourne then goes to the top rope with the bombs away style maneuver, gets the victory. Comments from the Freebirds, Parsons, and the Angel of Death. It's very clear that there's talk there that they want to, and they are setting up that 10-man cage match. We see Kevin talk about how chaos is running wild. We see the Freebirds, Parsons, and Angel talking about how they're going to get rid of all the baby faces. I mean, it's a very simple promo style. Highlights of an Eric Emery and Sean Simpson cage match. Emery is busted wide open in the highlight, and he is bleeding all over the place. Stumbling around he is, and then we see a attempted, I guess, he falls to the canvas 1-2, and near fall there, doesn't get all he wants. Simpson comes up and is a bit of a negative space, obviously, and they climb to the brink of the cage, and Simpson is waiting on the top rope to execute a final maneuver of offense and some would say desperation, but he manages to crossbody from the top. Emery rolls through and gets the victory, surprisingly. Then we go to another highlight series, this one Chris Adams and Al Perez. Remember, they had previous matches, one of which was very good. Perez ducks out of the way. Referee gets struck in the mid-match point here. It is a desire for Adams to have the championship back, and he hits a super kick. There is no referee. Many people wonder, does this, would he have won the championship at this point? interference attempted uh, by the second. Gary Hart tries to get in on that, and basically, um, Chris Adams goes to work on his adversary quite a bit here, and dumps dumps him over the top to the floor, and there you go with that. And both men are reasonably uncomfortable. Adams makes his way uh, almost back into the ring, but not in time. Then we see more hype of the upcoming Thunderdome style match. The referees basically say they will have very little, if any, control whatsoever. Then we move to um, more promos inside the cage. Uh, then we go to Al Perez versus Solomon Grundy. Not a great match. Grundy is an out of shape individual who I don't quite understand why he's getting a match with the champion here. Perhaps a attempted approach to, kind of just giving him an extra match. Meanwhile, Terry Gordy comes out, basically said this man doesn't deserve the opportunity, and Gordy challenges Al Perez pretty much for the championship. Says he's going to get him eventually. Chris Adams comes out, cuts a promo, says he's going to get Gordy and he's going to get the championship back. Adams and Gordy end up brawling in the midst of this. Grundy manages to go brawling against the other part of the Freebirds, this time Buddy Roberts. Match breaks down quite a bit. Not necessarily the best of situations. It feels like a schmoz booked just for the sake of a schmoz to fill a TV show. Then we actually do get the match. Al Perez, Solomon Grundy. Grundy, a big man, probably 350 pounds plus, barefoot and wrestling in overalls. Not quite your country bumpkin, but that's the basic idea. Needless to say, this is, not your main event caliber match that you'd expect your champion to be in by any stretch of the imagination. And then we kind of move forward in that direction. Excuse me there. Um, you know, and obviously Perez can't do a lot of power moves with him. Has to break down the match into chin locks, punches, and kicks. It's unfortunate because I think Al Perez sometimes is hampered by the quality of opponent he has. I wonder if he hadn't been there in 80, let's say 85, 86, if Al Perez wouldn't have had a different legacy than he does now. I don't hardly hear many people talk about Al Perez being a major guy, but to me, he could have been. For me, I'm thinking, imagine Al Perez teaming with Razor Ramon as the Diamond Studs, as a Latin American tag team, something like that could have worked. I think there was more meat on the bone with Al Perez. Anyway, a shoulder tackle by Grundy, and Perez dodges the man, get out of the way, and Perez off the ropes, hits a flying forearm, gets a victory. And then we go to the main event. This main event, Cowboy Tony and Vince Apollo versus the Fantastics. Obviously, the Fantastics are what make this main event because, well, their opponents certainly are not main eventers. And so, this match only goes about 3-4 minutes. Very short. Apollo and Tony cut the ring off. Tommy Rogers not in a good space for a couple of minutes. Gets back to his corner. Is able to make the tag. Fantastics manage to work together for a couple of minutes, and the heels bail to the outside. They are not happy. Fantastics manage to get everybody back in the ring, and there is a brawl. Fantastics come out ahead due to their double teaming, including double drop kicks and the like. and then we see a almost a heart attack style maneuver, a crossbody from an elevated position. 1, 2, 3 Fantastics are fantastic in their win. Then we close this particular edition of World Class.